Hey, welcome to Playoff Central Live, presented by State Farm. Nabil Karim alongside Jalen Rose and Steve Smith. A massive Game 3 for the Minnesota Timberwolves after dropping the first two in OKC. And did the Timberwolves ever respond in the Western Conference Finals? They needed that game, and they came through in a pivotal matchup. The fans jacked up before the game. They had to find a way to stop that man, slow him down. Anthony Edwards, a problem himself right from the get-go.
Yeah, he was. I mean, you see the energy. You see the way he played defensively, offensively, set the tone. He came out with a lot of emotion, and one thing he was doing was attacking.
I would have loved to see him rock the cradle on that one, Smitty. But his aggressiveness was something his teammates were able to feed off of. And Julius Randle as well. He was aggressive, looking to score the basketball. And they did a really good job getting into their half-court set, setting screens, and getting quality shots.
Edwards, 16 points in the first quarter. Terrence Shannon giving them a spark.
Oh, played well. He wasn't afraid of the moment. He was ready. Came out aggressive defensively and offensively.
Mike Conley still getting it done. It was 51-23. Naz Reid found his shot.
Yes, and they're going to need it as the series progresses. And their bench did really well. A couple of guys knocking down 2 threes. DiVincenzo, Reed, Alexander, Walker. They were terrific tonight.
It was 72-41 at the half. Edwards continuing to shine. I mean, come on now.
That third quarter, usually coming out of halftime, they've been awful.
That's been a story of the series.
Not today. They were pretty good.
Hits the three right there. It's 84-52. No chance for OKC to get back in this one. Minnesota, foot on the gas. Randall getting the mid-range. Ant-Man from deep. Finished with 30 points in the game, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Randall, who was kind of quiet, too, from way deep. He had 24 as Minnesota led by 45 at one point in this game. Win this one 143-101. Rudy Gobert, a plus 23 in this game. Here he is with Jared Greenberg.
Rudy, what was different tonight?
Mindset, our intensity from the first minute of the game. I thought we set the tone tonight.
How defensively were you able to lock down, particularly SGA?
Team effort. I think everyone came out with a mindset of being physical, helping each other out, and I thought we did a great job staying with it, doing it consistently throughout the whole game.
The adjustments is really not the biggest thing. It's about just bringing energy with a team like this. OKC played with a ton of energy, no matter what. First through the fourth quarter. So just trying to exceed their energy or match it at least. That was the most important thing today, and I think we did that.
The team that imposes their will more and earlier usually throws the first punch. So it's the same thing on both sides of the ball. Like, if they're trying to do something offensively and defensively, we take them out of it, we threw the punch of that possession. And then you string them together, and there goes the first punch.
Talk about imposing your will. Minnesota was doing that on the defensive end of this game.
They were. I mean, I like the pickup point was higher. I like on the double team slash what guys showed. They were handsy. They got steals. They got deflection. Played with a lot of energy. They fueled the fans, and then they played off the fans, and led by that superstar, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, it's interesting because throughout this series, we've been talking about OKC and their defense, but it was Minnesota's defense that really shined in this one.
It was. I liked it. I want to see more from them. I want to see Rudy more active rebounding, offensive rebounding. I want to see him going after shots. I want to have him. He needs to have a game where he has like 3 or 4 block shots. And you see this tape right here. The pickup point was high. And then also they took the basketball and they weren't just set up. They played faster. They played with force. And I just love the way Anthony Edwards, he played like a football player tonight. He was going through people, getting a chance to play extremely hard, Jalen.
Absolutely, and his teammates fed off of it, and that's what you have to do when you're the best player. It's more than just scoring the basketball. It's bringing defensive tenacity, guarding multiple positions, setting the tone, leading on both ends of the floor, and that's what Anthony Edwards did. And Terrence Shannon, this ain't breaking news, but if he's going to have more points in the game than J-Dub and or SGA, Minnesota's going to come back and win this series, right? And so I want to give him and them a lot of credit for getting him into the rotation and him being ready enough to be so very productive.
You know, last game we praised Shea for being so aggressive right from the get-go, really setting the tone. We got to go back to Anthony Edwards here for a second. He had 30 points in this game, but 16 of those coming in the first quarter.
Right, and that's the tone setter that you're talking about. Your best player has to come out, you return home, and how do you do it? If you're Anthony Edwards today, we showed him a couple of plays defensively. Here he is in a half-court offense, taking his time, getting to his spot, putting the defender in his hip pocket, knocking down the free throw line jumper. Here you see him, Julius Randle tried to drive. He gave up the basketball. He sees a double team coming. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to just go left and dribble around it. I'm going to dribble around the guy in the corner. I'm going to do it up and under, and I'm going to finish this thing. And I'm going to put on the show for these home fans. And here you see him again, being very aggressive. Rudy Gobert does a great job of setting the screen. And the lift on his jump shot and his follow-through is just so gorgeous to watch as he knocks it down. And here he is again. Normally a guy with his athleticism and his strength isn't making one-leg fall-away jumpers and leading the league in three-pointers made. So he's one of the more unique players that the game has seen.
He's just got that motor, Smitty.
It is. I've been knowing him for so long. So the one thing stat I run right to him is free throw attempts and rebounds. Mm-hmm. That's when I know he's being aggressive. Mm-hmm. Anybody can get shots. Anybody can take shots. But if he's rebounding, getting to the free throw line, that's when his motor is going, and that's when his teammates is feeding off him.
On the flip side of things, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 4-13 in this game, 14 points. Jalen did not get to the free throw line, and that's one of the things he's been so good at, just 4 attempts.
Well, that's what you have to do against a great player. You got to play, but do it without fouling, especially the guy who's led the league in free throws attempt and led the league in scoring. And so I want to give Minnesota a lot of credit in that area. But for SGA, his timing seemed to be so off. He jumped in the air a couple of times, tried to pass the ball and threw the ball away. He wasn't really finishing at the hoop like he normally does. And I think that became a domino effect for the rest of the team, and it showed how they struggled throughout the game.
They did. I mean, if you watch him right here, he was taking shots, falling backwards, not following through. I think he wasn't getting 2 feet in the paint. He's usually attacking. And I think for him is, just like Anthony Edwards, they kind of mirror both great players when they had the ball in their hands. He could have got to his post-ups and then got guys easier shots. I think mentally he was a game where he just played the game. He didn't think the game and obviously come out there to try to get some advantages for his team and for himself individually or for the OKC Thunder.
Yeah, and one of the things he said post-game was we didn't have a sense of urgency in this game. That's something they really got to change going into Game 4.
Well, that's what happens when you win the first 2 and you go on the road and the other team plays with a sense of desperation. That's as close as you get to a must-win without it being an elimination game as possible, because we know what happens if Minnesota goes down 0-3. Mm-hmm. OKC played like the team that had the 2-0 win.
So far in this postseason after a loss, OKC 3-0. So that's a good sign that they know how to bounce back.
It's going to be a great game.
But I got a stat for you, though.
Okay.
Since 1983, every team that has lost a series by 40 points went on to lose that series.
Wow.
OKC lost by 42 today. So it's going to be interesting to see if they break that trend.
Wow, that's a good one right there. I should have stole that one. Justin, where were you, man? That was my stat, man.
That's Tony back there. That's Tony.
Tony, Justin, which one is it? I don't even know.
It's a good stat or bad stat.
Hey, the Pacers, they're just 2 wins away from booking their ticket to the NBA Finals. Can New York get back in this series? We'll discuss.